Cost control. It is scientific management strategy for controlling and lowering corporate expenditure. Exclusively, we are focusing to controlling and lowering corporate expenditure. Two things are there, the control and lower. So reduction, price or cost reduction is always there. We are focusing that. According to Eric L. Kohler, cost control is the employment of management device in a performance of any necessary operations so that pre-established objectives of the quality, quantity, and time may be attained at the lowest possible outlay for goods and services. We don't want to defer our decided or predetermined target. We want to achieve that with the help of this. The next part is definition of cost control. According to Eric L. Kohler, cost control is the employment of management devices. This is what the employment of management devices in the performance of any necessary operations so that pre-established objectives of quality, quantity, and time may attain at the lowest possible outlay for goods and services. Here, the important terminologies are pre-established. This is all planned, which is already decided before, and what is going on in actual process. So we need to focus on the plan or pre-established objectives, whether we are able to satisfy that predetermined or pre-established objective or not. That needs to be studied. So that should not be sacrificed with the quality or quantity or time. We should attain that goal. We should not be delayed. Time should be maintained. Quality should be maintained, and the quantity should not be lesser quantity. Whatever has been decided and planned should be followed. This is how definition is stated. Now we need to understand the features of cost control. What sort of features are there? In cost control, we need to follow the cost accounting existence. Yes, already if cost accounting is to lead executive action to control expenses, an appropriate cost accounting system must first be implemented. We need to implement the cost accounting system, and that system is implemented should be tailored to the task at hand. It should not be implemented simply because other companies have done it, because it is fashionable. No, the cost accounting system that has to be deployed achieves one of the cost accounting dual purpose. Our cost accounting existence should be for the purpose, and that purpose is stick to our organizational goal. So it should be according to the organizational requirement. The next feature is cost predetermined standard. Standard which are already been set. Standard it is already given. We should follow that thing. So setting attainable performance target. To decide the attainable performance target is another requirement of cost control. We should predetermine the standards. We should plan what is the outcome is required. We should expect the things we want this much profit or the output. So setting attainable performance that can be achievable, that target is another requirement of cost control. The goal should be scientific in nature. It should not be vague, and it should not be like pleasing to the higher level management that we are going to achieve this much goal. No. It should be the scientific or attainable, taking into account all practical factors of manufacturing as well as associated expenses. Standard costing is not required for the establishment of the performance target. So predetermined standards required to be there. So this is the features of cost control. The next feature is cost reporting. In costing, we already understand the concept of cost, costing, cost accounting, cost reporting. So, as previously stated, cost control does not happen by itself. Cost accounting should influence executive action for cost containment. If cost accounting is to guide executive, there must be a reliable system for reporting cost data. We should have that cost reporting system in reliable manner, because as per that reporting system we are going to take a decision in future. So reliable system of cost reporting is very necessary, very essential to go for a good cost control system. Next, the feature is corrective action. As we know that controlling is all about comparing plan activity with actual performance, and after getting the difference or the variance between the plan and actual performance, we should have to take a corrective action. So this feature is very important. Even the most effective and timely reporting of cost data is useful. If corrective action is not performed the right way, action should also be taken to ensure the several aberrations that have been addressed by executive actions do not resurface. In other words, the goal of corrective action should be avoid deviations from occurring again. We should not deviate, we should not go far away from the set or predetermined established target. We should stick to that. We should be there to attain our goal. And the cost control link features, this existence of cost accounting, we should go for the cost accounting, and that system should be developed there. Predetermined standard, already pre-decided or predetermined desired standard should be set, and to achieve that, then only we are able to going to compare it. If already predetermined standards are there, then we can able to compare the actual performance. Then we'll be able to get the variances or the difference or deviation between our plan and actual performance. Cost reporting that requires a data analysis, and that cost data, reliable cost data is very essential to go for the cost control and corrective action. These features are important features of cost control. The next part is factors of cost control. Which factors needs to be addressed while doing the cost controlling? Each and every segment or each and every element of cost is needs to be addressed. This is very quite logical thing. First, we need to address the cost of labor. Cost of labor contains a sum of wages paid to employees working on a project, including employees' benefits and taxes. Employees are getting not only wages or salaries but also bonus, incentives on their performances. So, including employees' benefits and taxes, this is the cost of labor. Everything containing related to labor cost. So, when budgeting a project, it is important to include the cost of labor. Whenever we are planning for a project, the cost of labor should be considered, because that matters a lot. If the cost of labor is high, then we will not able to reduce the cost. We need to understand the labor term, and we need to understand the skilled labors. Not only to reduce the cost, we can hire anyone else, those who are unskilled labor. So in that case, our quality will be compromised. So therefore, the cost of labor is very essential factors for cost control. So if we want to go for a project, so project may involve several employees working at one time. If you are generating a budget, be sure to include the total number of employees on the project and how long each employee can work on the project to get an accurate estimation of the total cost of project. We must understand what sort of labors will be there, how many skilled labors will be employed, how many unskilled labor will be employed, and what is their daily wages, or what are their charges for per hour or per day or monthly charges, and how long this project will go on. And that much period cost should consider as a cost of labor. So unless and until we are getting accurate figure of labor cost, we will not able to control the cost. The next part is cost of material. Next factor, which is very essential for a cost control, is cost of material. Material stand for the raw material. We are introducing raw material. We are converting raw material into the finished product. Whatever will be the manufacturing concern, the cost of material is very essential. The quality of material is very essential. Not only to reduce the cost of material with compromising the quality, it is very important to control the cost of material. The total cost of all supplies and equipment required for a project is the cost of material. It involves the material that are ordered before the project start, during the completion of the project, and once the project being finished. So we are ordering material at different and various phases, and that material should be there without compromising the quality. Sometimes the shortage of material or excess material may get wastage. So we should control the materials, because whenever we have a shortage of material, that might possible we will going to get a labor cost for not working by workers. Not pay the idle wages. If our material will not be there, our worker will stop there and not able to work on it, and they will have to be paid the idle charges. So idle wages we want to control with the help of proper material management. At the same time, we should not have maximum material at a store, because it may get wastage due to spoilages, wear and tear, any damn thing can happen. So material management is very essential in cost control. So material cost is very essential. Next part is the actual cost. The actual cost is the total expenses that project has from the beginning of the project, and that project has cost till the end. This includes the labor, material, and any other expenses related to the project. So we must understand the actual cost amount, because unless and until understanding the actual cost, will be not able to compare it with the plan activity. Return on investment, ROI. So return on investment is how is a profitable project is compared to how much money you invested in a project. So this is the returns on your investment. How much amount has been invested and how much returns we are getting from it. So having a high ROI, return on investment, means the project brought in more money than the actual cost of project. Suppose if your returns on investment is higher, that project should be viable and that should be taken place. So return on investment should be considered while doing the cost control. This is the important factors of cost control. The next and the last factor of cost control is the cost of variance. The variance is the difference. Variance refers to any difference in the price between the actual cost of the project and the budget you have already set or predetermined things. For example, if you have a budget for a project that is $1,000, but the actual cost of project is rose up to $1,500, then the cost of variance is the difference between them two. The plan activity was planned at $1,000, but actual cost of project took place at $1,500. The difference between them is called variance, which is a $500. So this is what the difference between the budget and the actual cost of project is called variance. So we need to understand how the difference is there, how variance is there. So the difference between the actual and budget should not be so big. If that is there, then it is very difficult to control the cost. So we need to understand how much difference is there. The next part is process involving cost control. There will be three processes in cost control. First is creating a norms, then correct correlative actions and appraisal. What is creating a norms? Norms means rules, setting the rules and regulations. So creating a norms, in order to exercise a cost management, it is necessary to create a norms. Target, we should have the target or the goal. So that goal or that target or the parameter should be set. That can be used as a yardstick to attain the end goals. So market research may use for establish the standards, norms or objectives. Whenever we are going to plan creating a norms, we should have to the part studies. We should have to learn about the market study. So what market is going on, what sort of market is already on, we should understand that thing. Then only we can be able to create the norms. To next part is corrective action, appraisal. To determine the degree of utilization of persons, machinery and material, the actual outcome are compared to the prescribed standard, predetermined standard. The sources of the variances are investigated in order to determine what is controllable and what is not. We should appraise the project cost. What sort of the costs are going to be controllable and what are not under control. That needs to be understood. So appraisal is very essential stage. This is the part of cost control. In appraisal, we are focusing about the main material, machine, every aspects of the organizations which incurred cost. And after that, corrective actions. After understanding, after first we need to set or creating a norms, and after that we should understand, appraise the thing actual performance. We should decide in before plan activity. We should check the actual performance, and actual and plan activity should get compared, and then only we'll able to understand the variance or difference, then should take a corrective actions. So the variance are examined and remedial actions or revisions of targets, norms and standards among these things are to be implemented. We can go for the revision of norms. It might possible unrealistic norms were set, unrealistic target were set, that needs to be taken in a condition that whether it is attainable or not. So this is how we are doing all the